Welcome back to the Gaming Thoughts and Opinions channel.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're talking about our wrestling match, Sam. But not just your ordinary rank and file wrestling match. This is Undertaker versus Triple H, with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee in a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 28. Correct? 28?
Yeah, 28.
Yeah. It was a fantastic match, but all that, I don't have to say anything about that. This is about you, Sam. It's about you becoming a wrestling fan. How do you feel about this match?
It was a really good match. There was a lot more dialogue than I thought, but they all have history, the three of them,
Yeah.
so it worked. Very violent.
Mhm.
Undertaker was dominant from the start and didn't really let up. I mean, there's a little bit in the middle where Triple H got his hits in, but it was a good fight. Really good fight.
Let's get into specifics though. Did you see the entrance?
Yes.
How do you feel about Triple H's entrance? I think he came out first.
He did not really stand out for me.
Technical issues. Go back to what you're saying. Triple H entrance didn't stand out.
It did not really stand out to me.
Which is late next year came out on some out of a skull with dry ice, and usually his entrance later years has been really extravagant. Like one year came out as a Terminator, in a big heavy Terminator suit, on a big pedestal, like he's about to fall off and kill himself. And one year he came out in a big skull with a bunch of women undressing him. It was tasteful though. It wasn't nude or anything. Anyways, yeah, darn. And Undertaker entrance. What do you think about that one?
That one was flashy.
Mhm.
It was kind of what I've come to expect from the Undertaker.
Yeah. There was a next year when he went against CM Punk at WrestleMania. He had these zombie arms stretching out of the mist on the ground. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And they do a good job of portraying the Undertaker character, because for a long time it didn't really do a good job. At one point, Undertaker was a Texan biker who came into Limp Bizkit.
Well, the Limp Bizkit part I approve of, because how can you not?
You know the song "Rollin'"? That was his entrance music.
God,
He came in on a motorcycle.
perfect.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels came in. He's a goofball these days. Ever since he retired, he's just happy to be there because he just loves performing. He'd be still wrestling today if somebody just didn't tell him okay, if he didn't have that retirement match or a couple years before this, he'd probably still be wrestling today.
Didn't the Undertaker make him retire?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great match too.
They touched on that heavily throughout this. The two announcers.
How do you feel about the commentary? Because there wasn't two, there's three.
Oh right, yeah, because Jim Ross came in.
Good old JR.
And a celebrity referee and a celebrity.
Well, he's not a celebrity.
Kind of. Well, I mean, he doesn't do it all the time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, he did it for about 25 years for WWE.
He did it for a long time.
Yeah, and then they let him go because either they wanted to go younger, which I don't get. He's fantastic.
He's still amazing.
Yeah, or he didn't want to travel anymore because he's getting older. You have to be on a plane every night, which I understand. Anyways, he was fantastic in this match. I remember, I think it was Undertaker was beating on Triple H. He was like, Undertaker with the carcinogenic fist, the carcinogenic right hands. I'm like, oh, that's I would never think to say that and call, because that's what they are. They're killing them slowly like a cigarette. Very methodical in the way he speaks, in the way he just has the great analogies and great vocabulary. I aspire to be that.
You aspire to be JR.
Yes.
A fat old white man.
Hey, but he has cerebral palsy, so half his face he can't even smile anymore. Yeah, that's really sad. And
that's rough.
But he's fantastic talent. I wish he still commentates today. But how'd you feel about the commentary and how they told the story of the match?
I didn't focus on that a whole lot.
Okay.
I mean, what I remember was really good. It conveyed what I felt was the necessary context. And it got me in the right mindset for the match.
I'm happy that Michael Cole didn't speak that much because he sucks. But let's move on to the match. It starts out with Undertaker dominating for the first 5 or so minutes. And when I was watching this again last week, so we could talk about it, I'm like, oh, maybe Sam's not going to like this because of the slower pace, and maybe he just likes Because after showing you the Brock Lesnar triple threat match, I'm like, nothing can be that fast. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's not gonna like this. Maybe he's gonna expect more things to be up to that. I'm like, nah.
No.
But you didn't mind it, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It was one of the better matches that I've seen.
And then one of the 4 that you see.
Yeah. 5.
5?
Because I watched the celebrity one
yeah.
last week.
And then, so as you're going through the match, like, take me through your thoughts as the match progressed.
They spent a lot of time with Shawn Michaels telling one of them to stop fighting and telling the other to let the other stop fighting. I'm glad they didn't back down. I know that was for show mostly.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad they wrote it that way, or however. I'm glad it ended the way it did. Because if one of them would have tapped out or would have let Shawn Michaels ring the bell, that would have been kind of a letdown.
Yeah. I mean, it fits in the character's Undertaker. He wants to beat Triple H once and for all again. Like, this is his 3rd time WrestleMania beating him, but he wants to do it again to keep his streak as well. And he's just an old bastard, just loves to fight.
Yeah.
To a fault. This should have been his last match. But anyways, and Triple H.
That would have been a nice last match.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's probably the best match he ever had.
Yeah, 20. He'd end 20-0 at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And Triple H, that could have been his last match too. But he'd been doing good stuff. Some stuff not so good. Anyways, yeah, it was just it fit perfectly in the story. It was very good and simple though, and that's all I need. There was blood early.
Yeah, very early.
Yeah. Usually after 2008, 2009, Vince McMahon, he said, I don't want any blood on my product because kids watch this. And the incident that made this happen was Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho at a match for the championship. And Chris Jericho put Shawn Michaels' head through a television screen, and then Shawn Michaels supposed to cut himself, but he cut too much, so he bled profusely, and he cut himself right on his eyelid area, so now he's cross-eyed ever since then. Like he said, it was just too much that I don't want it ever again. But there's been blood multiple times because of Brock Lesnar. He's like,
Brock freaking Lesnar.
Yeah, the blood is basically like his skin at this point because as soon as he gets hit, just blood goes everywhere. There's a lot of matches where Brock Lesnar just fucking pulsing with blood. Anyways, back to this match.
Yeah.
Keep going on with your thoughts though as we progress to the middle.
Well, I thought them all being old would be a bit of a drawback. But it really they were just slow. And I know Undertaker's always been kind of methodical. Yeah, that's the word. The nice way of putting it. So I guess I wasn't too disappointed, and I shouldn't have been if I would have been. It was when he attacked Shawn Michaels, and then the other ref that came in.
Okay.
I was not expecting that, but way to fight the refs, dude.
Yeah, he always used to fight the refs. Back in the day, like late '90s, when they were really trying to make him a scary figure. When you have a person in the corner to give you a 5 count to get off of him, and then right when the ref would go to 5, Undertaker would turn around and stare at him with those big scary eyes, and the ref would just be so scared they'll fall down or off the ring don't hit me. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It did a lot to sell the Undertaker character. Now I look at it, that character really transcended what it once was in the beginning. He has a lot of longevity.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this time I think Triple H was about 40, 41, and Undertaker was about 47. Shawn Michaels about in that range, is about 47. So yeah, they're really. I don't know how they do it, but they did it. I like the spot when Undertaker got spine busted on the steel steps. It looked like it really hurt.
Yeah.
It looked like his back hit the edge. I'm like, oh God, no! I'm gonna see old man break his back. No, luckily it didn't.
Yeah.
What spot? The match is kind of blurred to me right now. But did you remember when Shawn Michaels he just had enough of the shit from Undertaker? He kicked him right in the face, and then Triple H hit him with a pedigree. they go for the pin. Undertaker still kicks out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and every time Undertaker gets pinned, I'm like, oh no, please. Even though I know what happens, I even know what happens 4 years after this. Like I know how his career ends and everything, and like it's still like, oh, it's so close. That could have been it right there. Like it, that's the mark in my eyes. Good match, good story. Like I could read the same story over and over again, and like I still get surprised. I think that's the mark of good content, of anything. A good YouTube video, a good movie, a good book, a good wrestling match. If you can watch it over and over again and still get some enjoyment or near the same enjoyment you had the first time.
Yeah.
That's what I want to make on this channel. I want people to watch GTO Royale 6 times in a row, spend their whole day on it. Unrealistic.
2-hour show.
Anyways, WrestleMania was 4 hours.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you watch any other matches on the card?
No.
No.
I did not have the desire to do that this time.
Yeah. They had another celebrity here, Maria Menounos.
Oh, her. She's the one that hosts that thing before like every movie.
Yeah.
First Look or whatever.
Yeah, and apparently she's pretty athletic.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Get your money.
She took somebody else's spot, or whatever. Want to
Who
get?
cares?
Who cares? Who cares about that person's career that didn't get a match at WrestleMania? They worked their whole lives to get there.
Nah. We'll get there next year.
Yeah,
They probably won't.
Something will get released. Anyways, your final thoughts about the match and all.
It was really good. It was not quite as brutal as the Brock Lesnar match, but then again, I don't think anything ever will be.
Oh, speaking of brutal, with the sledgehammer, when
They were lining up on each other's skulls like 4 times. It's like, this is not a Gallagher show. We don't need this.
it was like, and it was perfectly timed. When he's about to just fucking smash it, like you said, like a Gallagher, like a watermelon, a Gallagher show. He's about to fucking end Undertaker, make the dead man really dead, and Shawn Michaels coming at the perfect right time to take the sledgehammer. It's like, hey, I know you're like that. Even feeds into more why Shawn Michaels wants to stop, because they're about to kill each other, and just like, no, I don't want to see like Triple H was Shawn Michaels' best friend for a long time, and Undertaker, like everyone loves Undertaker because he's been there.
Yeah, mad respect for him.
Yeah. And he was the one that ended his career. I'm like, Jesus, like that's a tough spot to be in. But what happened.
Yeah. There were times when Shawn Michaels looked like he was just having a breakdown in the corner.
Yeah.
Which, if that were more real, I would probably be broken too. If like my best friend and then a wrestler that I have the utmost respect for were actually killing each other, I don't think I'd be able to handle it mentally. So.
Anyway, the match ended with a tombstone power driver on Triple H, I believe.
Yeah.
That's how he ends most matches. He pins him 1, 2, 3. It's done. Undertaker retains the streak for now, 20-0. And they're all tired, beaten up, battered. The Hell in the Cell rises. Everyone's let go. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker grab Triple H, walk him to the ramp, and y'all have like a nice it's called a curtain call when like all the actors. Yeah, that's what they had a curtain call, and everyone gave them applause. And that should have been, because if you look up this match, there's like the picture of that curtain call, and that should be the final image we should ever see of the Undertaker in wrestling.
That would have been a great way to go out.
But next year he fought CM Punk, which was a very good match. It was probably the best match of that WrestleMania. After that, he lost his streak to Brock Lesnar in a horrible match because he got concussed very early.
Oh.
It wasn't. I don't want to say horrible, but it's what it compared to his later match with Brock Lesnar compared to this. It was horrible because he really couldn't do anything. It was like an animal. It was like a bear eating a man. Undertaker was getting mauled.
Yeah.
He lost his streak.
That's too bad.
The story is, as soon as he went backstage, he passed out immediately and had to take him to the hospital. Yeah, that's what I meant before we started recording. Like I can't tell if he's selling that he's beating up or is that he's like actually like fucked up.
Yeah.
A lot of times he is. Then he had another match with Brock Lesnar, 2 of them. Had one in Hell in a Cell. That was really good. And they both were bloody and stuff. That was really good. And yeah, he had a couple matches after that. And do you know, because Roman Reigns beat him this last WrestleMania. Now he's retired. Shit, way to go.
Yeah, this was before I got into wrestling, but a lot of people were like, Undertaker was just defeated by millennials personified. And I'm like,
Whoa.
People people were really upset that like Roman Reigns being so young and so
The story makes sense, but the person to do it, they use the wrong person to do it, in my opinion. Roman Reigns is it makes sense for the young lion to usurp that old lion.
Yeah.
And that's been the story with a lot of his matches. When like 2005 had a match with Randy Orton, and Undertaker was old back then, and Randy Orton was about 20, 24, 25 back then. And like this is the story of the young lion usurping that old lion and taking the pride for his own.
Simba taking out Scar.
Yeah. It makes sense. The story makes sense. I don't want to see Roman Reigns win because the story of him, like, the story up to that point hasn't been, like, his story hasn't been built up enough, I don't think. I mean, they built him up in the ring because he wins with, like, that dumb Superman punch all the time. Well, all he does is just cock his arm back and punches, and he wins. And it's annoying.
Does not sound fun.
Yeah, he's supposed to be, wrestling is best when it's brutal. And none of his moves are particularly brutal. That's my problem. Is that this guy is supposed to be the next John Cena, the next Brock Lesnar, the next Stone Cold. They had all brutal moves. They had all cool moves. This guy has what? His finisher is a punch, and his other finisher is a tackle. Give me a power bomb. Give me a stunner. Give me a attitude adjustment at 5, a power driver. Well, they don't do power drivers anymore. That's bad. But like I don't know. We went on a tangent there.
Some suplexes or something, just spice it up a little, Roman.
That's my problem. But they keep giving him the top spot. I'm okay with him having a top spot. Wrestling can write whoever he wants to be. They can write Sam to be the next world champion. That's not my problem. But if you write Sam Lucker in a compelling way, in a convincing way, I'll buy it. It's fine. I don't care who's champion. I just want it to be interesting, and it hasn't been interesting for most of the run.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to have a little story time.
Okay.
Add a little segment to this, because usually it's about 10 minutes. Right now it's not. But I want to add a little meat on the bone here.
Okay.
Did you notice when Undertaker, I don't know when he took down his straps.
Yeah.
He had BSK on his tummy there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to tell you a story about what the tattoo means.
Okay.
Tattoo stands for Bone Street Crew, which was a little thing backstage. It was a group between mid-90s to late 90s. It was him, a guy named Yokozuna, which was you've seen him in the Royal Rumble, the first match we had on that live stream. Maybe you don't remember him. He was like gigantic fat sumo wrestler guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Had a guy named Rikishi. He's basically popular because he has a big ass and rubs in people's faces.
Yeah,
a guy named The Godfather. He was in the Hall of Fame. They put a sex trafficker in the Hall of Fame. I have no problems.
What a way to go.
Yeah, I have no problems with it, but you're a public business. Maybe that's not the image you should be projecting, but and he's not even that good of a wrestler, so I don't know why they put him in the Hall of Fame.
We've got kids that watch it, so no blood. But sex traffickers, spot on.
And he was a different character too. Like at one point, he was Papa Shango, which was like this voodoo character, which is fine for the kids. Voodoo
is perfect for children.
Perfect. Anyways, had a couple other people there. Savio Vega, a guy named Henry O'Godwin. His initials spell Hog. He was a big country boy. Anyways,
like Bubba Murphy?
Like Bubba Murphy. Yeah, he's Bubba Murphy from the neck down. His face is a lot prettier. His face was a lot prettier.
Is that possible?
I mean, Bubba Murphy's ugly as fuck. What are you talking about? He has big, 3 gashes on the top of his forehead and a receding hairline. Bubba Murphy's 18, by the way, so explain that to me.
Story. Back to the story.
Anyways, yeah, the Bone Street Crew had those people in it. And it's basically just like a group. They're all cool people. Everyone with the same personality gets together and they play dominoes. They will sing together. They have rap songs in the car together. Because everyone, like in wrestling, back in the day, I mean, still does. Traveling costs a lot because gas is getting more and more expensive. You have to rent out a hotel, and WWE doesn't pay for that because you're an independent contractor.
Yeah.
So you have to pay for that yourself. So everyone would just group up and get like a rent a car and get 4 to a car, or if you're big, I guess it'd be 3. Or maybe buy a van, get a bunch of people in there. But they all drove together and like they would talk about wrestling and stuff. And like when I was reading more about the Bone Street Crew, it made me very happy to see that these wrestlers they're in it for the love of the business. They seem like they all constantly are talking about it and just talking about what stuff they can do and how they improve themselves, which I like. But it had one story about him making a song and rapping, like they're freestyling, and I can't imagine the Undertaker rapping. Apparently he did though. Anyways, it's pretty cool.
Leak that audio.
Yeah, leak that. I don't want to hear about Trump talking about grabbing people by the genitals. I want to know about Undertaker rapping. Should have got that. Anyways, that group, some people speculate that it's an opposition to the group called the Clique. We'll get into that later. It's Triple H's little backstage group, and they were assholes. But anyways, that was a cool little group. But I wanted to talk about Bone Street Crew, but more about wrestlers court. It's a kangaroo court system, like backstage. You solve your own problems back there. And the wrestlers court was initially made by a guy named Dutch Mantel after a wrestler got stabbed in Puerto Rico by a guy named Jose Gonzalez because they had a dispute over something, and he just like stabbed him in the shower. And since Puerto Rico at the time, not a great country, it took him an hour for the medics to come there as his intestines were on the floor and he's bleeding out very slowly. It's terrible. But after that, they made wrestlers court to solve problems before it escalates that far, which is good because apparently the regular court system's not good enough solving these issues.
Well, I mean, some of these issues you can't really take to court.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was with the murder situation, but annoying wrestlers probably something silly like, "Hey, you won't sell it, you're hurt. For me, well, I'm gonna stab you now because you're making me look bad." But yeah, they made that Undertaker was at one time one of the judges, and they have a couple of really funny stories about like trials I want to tell you about. So I'm gonna read a couple of them to you. I'm getting this from Reddit, so maybe it's not right. But you know, the Miz, he had put on trial for like he got punished for 6 months because he was eating fried chicken over a bag and he didn't clean up behind himself. They had one trial. Is this tag team called the APA. They had a manager called Teddy Long, and they would drive together. So when they went up to a toll booth, Teddy Long would act like he was sleeping, so he doesn't have to pay. And then like the tag team was tired. I'm tired of you being fucking cheap. So we're gonna come here and have a trial. For the trial, they got all the wrestlers in the locker room, and they got them, like put them on trial.
That's a stabbable offense right there.
Yeah, stabbable offense. And eventually, he got a punishment. Usually, the punishment is buying alcohol and free food for him. Now more stories about when they had like a women's division, they had like they have a reality show back in the day called Tough Enough.
Yeah.
People like you and me sending video so we can try and become wrestlers.
Dear God.
So some of the women, they had women wrestlers. They challenged the real wrestlers to a dodgeball contest. Happened at SummerSlam one year. The wrestlers on the roster lost, and it made the real wrestlers look bad. So they punished them for it. Stuff like that. Oh, I'll tell you one more. I think it's a good one. Chris Jericho and Bill Goldberg, they had a trial because Goldberg was being disrespectful, saying that his matches were shitty, even though they're not. And Chris Jericho just got enough of the shit and put him in the front face lock, and basically choking him like this, and he made him pass out. And Goldberg, he's like 270 pounds, 6'3", and Chris Jericho's he's like your height. It's not that big. Anyways, he basically used his wrestling moves to take out that guy. And Goldberg lost the case for being disrespectful. And Goldberg had to say that Chris Jericho is a better wrestler now and forever will be. And I'm like, that's just public humiliation right there.
Wow.
Pretty cool stuff. I don't know. Wrestler court seems interesting to me. Anyways, that's enough for story time. That's enough for this video. Talk way too damn long. So you should have stopped me about 24 minutes ago. Like 24:20 right now. So explain that to me anyway. Comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. See you later, people. Somebody's getting it.